Hi there, and welcome to another episode of the Performance Cafe. And we are on our way into April, and our theme for April is going to be around the growth mindset. I'm very excited about this because I think we've suffered so much loss and so much trauma, both from a personal, a business, societal perspective, since the beginning of COVID. I mean, it's been just over 2 years since the first lockdown was announced for COVID in South Africa. And, we keep on right now, there's a lot of, even in social chatter, when we speak, then we speak about, you remember, it was only supposed to be 3 weeks. And now in retrospect, we go like, why did anyone think we were going to get over this in 3 weeks? So it's kind of funny to think of it now that way. But the long and the short of it is that even after those 3 weeks, there's been this big drive, and I believe myself and Leonie Fourie spoke about it right at the beginning of lockdown. She was one of our coffee companions, and she spoke about not bouncing back, but bouncing forward. But we spoke about people's need to go back to the good old days. Let's get back to normal. People would say, oh, if I could turn back time, this is the thing I'd go and do. And here we are 2 years later, and I think what's happened is we're most certainly not back to normal yet, but I'm questioning whether is normal really where we want to be? What is normal? How do we define normal after this? I sort of feel like too much has changed. We have changed. The world has changed. We've questioned too much. We've grown through this trauma. As bad as it was, there was also a lot of learning potential in it. And so I think from the perspective that we can't unring the bell, I'm wondering what the heck do we do with the bell instead? And I suppose this means that all we can do is, I think it was Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story who said it's what? Forwards and upwards, or up and away, whatever it was, but definitely not going back, not back to normal, finding what is the right path for us now. And I even question the use of the word normal because it used to be normal to go and sit in an office. It's not anymore. So I really want to use this month to see how do we position ourselves to make the best of going forward. And I suppose today I'd like to start off by taking a look at why is it so difficult for some of us to go forward? And it's interesting because it is a personality quirk, right? Some of us accept change easier than others. Some of us, our personalities might lead to it, but some of us are raised in a culture where maybe change just isn't celebrated that much. We have traditions and the way we do things, and we're steeped in history, and that pulls us back. In some cases, we even see in the book Growth Mindset by Dr. Carol Dweck, she talks about research that was done with very young kids in school, where you would see little girls would not do an activity that they didn't know how to do, and little boys would step up and actually do anything, even if they didn't have the answer, because maybe in that culture, little girls are taught to always be perfect and not make mistakes. And little boys are allowed to have adventurous spirits. Little boys are allowed to, overreach. And it's so interesting that so often we even now still see that when recruiters send out job advertisements, if you compare the amount of females versus the amount of men who will send a CV that they're not qualified for, there will be fewer women than men. I'm not saying women wouldn't do it, but the men are much more willing to open to taking that risk and being wrong and having to learn and, fake it till you make it, that kind of attitude. So where does this leave us? Well, as I said, I want to take a look for the next month at the concept of the growth mindset and take a look at different things that I've learned from the book and how I've applied that in clients or how I've heard anecdotes about it. And I think for today, just very quickly, I want to teach you a little word that will change your life. Now, when I say, tell me one little word that changes your life, people sometimes come up with love, disease, operation, engagement, birth, death, loss, suffering. But the little word I'd like to introduce you to today is yet. Because what we're going to learn from the Growth Mindset book is that the difference between a growth mindset and a stagnant mindset is the word yet. So think about it. If we go back to the research on, for example, men and women submitting CVs, women will withhold a CV because I don't have those skills, and men will go, I don't have those skills yet. Think about it. Do you want to try a new recipe? Oh, but I've never tried it. What would it mean if you say, I've never tried it yet? You give yourself permission to think differently, to have a new experience, to learn something new. And so I want us to spend all of April hand in hand learning what else don't we know yet, but that we don't need to have it hold us back. And now many people will say, but Innocent, we can't run around just doing things that we don't have the skills for. And I want to remind you that even a heart surgeon at some point has not done a heart surgery yet. And so it is about, with enough preparation, we can step up. If we understand how important a decision is, or if we understand how important something is that we want to achieve, then that gives us the opportunity to say, I haven't done it yet, but there will be the first time I do it. And maybe it's by breaking it down into steps. Maybe it is about learning from someone else. We're going to take a look at all of that. But I'd like you to join me on my journey of yet for April. And I hope that you're finding this as inspiring as I do. And yes, I hope that you are going to enjoy going through this little book with me and seeing what we have yet to learn about it. As always, it's been fantastic chatting to you. I love that we are going to be doing this journey in April together. In South Africa, it's getting a bit chillier, right? It's getting closer to winter. We almost want to go and hibernate. I hope this is going to warm us up and get us excited so that April flies by and we don't even notice the chill in the air. And so, as always, if you've enjoyed this and you're looking forward to joining us for our yet journey, please click on the link below on the page. Like us, subscribe, and yes, leave us some comments and your thoughts on what it is that you might want to do that you have not yet done. If you're joining us, as always, from LinkedIn or Facebook, you are more than welcome. It is lovely to see you again. Please like and share and comment on what you would like to still do, that you have yet to still accomplish. And let's see if we can make April the month where that happens. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you at the Performance Cafe.